Now, it is safe to say that a can of soda costs more now than it did 20 years ago. The same goes with funerals. Analytics say that a funeral will cost $30,000 within the next 20 years, which is insane, but that's what the numbers say. So the funeral plan helps with those inflation rates. Now, George, you already have the 20,000 coverage, so you still need the 10,000. So we're going to cover that other 10,000. And now Rachel doesn't have any of that coverage, so we will pay that full 30,000. Does that make sense? Wonderful. So how would it feel knowing that your entire inflation rate for the funeral is covered and your family wouldn't have to worry about paying any of that? Right, exactly. They wouldn't have to worry about setting up a GoFundMe to help pay for everything. They can focus on saying their last goodbyes and grieving properly. Yeah, absolutely. So this next section is going to cover the income lost. So George, for the next 5 years, it's going to cover $210,000. All right, and your existing coverage is only $10,000. So we're going to cover that other $200,000. Okay. Now, Rachel, how does it feel knowing that if George were to unfortunately pass away, that your family would be covered? Right, absolutely. There'd be no change in lifestyle. You can continue living the way you are currently, and that way you can focus more on grieving, because losing someone, you need to focus on, the grieving. You don't need to now grieve and then focus on, oh my goodness, how am I going to pay these bills? How are, the animal's going to be fed and things like that. So we're going to cover that. All right? Now, this last just goes over the mortgage. Now, this will cover the mortgage within the next 15 years. That way, in addition to not having to change your lifestyle, Rachel, you're going to get that mortgage paid off. So how does that make you feel? Right, absolutely. I've seen it in a couple of situations where, unfortunately, the individual does pass away. They don't have enough life insurance. Then they, in addition to having to grieve, they have to move. They have to worry about how are they going to pay for the house, and that is too much to focus on. So having that mortgage payment taken care of is essential, isn't it? Absolutely, yeah. So no worrying about moving. Your mortgage is taken care of, and you can focus on the grieving. Okay. So now, it's really important to be sure that we have these products available to protect your current coverage. And you have taken the first important steps. So the company just asked that you pick one of the following options, whether you want to have the full inflation rate of $30,000 or the partial inflation rate of $15,000 with the family protection plan at $200,000, okay? Now, George, Rachel, would you feel more comfortable knowing that your family